It feels so natural to settle into the version of myself who is the priority, the chosen one, the person my SP cannot help but think about. I can feel how different this state is from the old one. In this state, I don't chase, I don't wonder, I don't wait. I simply am. I simply exist as the one who matters, the one who stands out, the one they feel drawn to without even understanding why. It feels like slipping into a familiar coat, warm and perfectly fitted because I was always meant to occupy this place in their life. I don't force myself into importance. I allow myself to be important. And that shift changes everything. Neville's teachings echo softly in my mind. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And the feeling of being someone's priority is so rich, so warm, so comforting, so empowering. It's not needy or tense, it's not desperate. It's confident, secure, steady. It's the feeling of knowing that someone chooses me effortlessly, naturally, inevitably. The more I lean into that feeling, the more real it becomes, because consciousness is the only reality. As I imagine myself being chosen, I am chosen. As I imagine myself being valued, I am valued. As I imagine myself being the priority, I am the priority. I can feel the energy of being the person whose texts matter, whose presence calms, whose voice lights something up inside my SP. I can feel how it changes my posture, my breath, my inner world. Being the priority feels like being settled, like being certain, like being loved even before the physical evidence appears. And in this Neville-like knowing, I don't need to question anything. The inner world creates the outer world. So I choose the inner world with precision, with intention, with a softness that lets the manifestation flow freely. I imagine my SP going about their day and feeling me rest gently in the back of their mind, not as a fleeting thought but as a steady presence. I imagine them realizing how important I am to them, how comforting it feels to know me, how much they appreciate my existence. I let myself imagine their awareness shifting, deepening, becoming clearer. I imagine the moment it hits them. This person matters to me. I can't lose them. I need them in my life. It doesn't come from force. It comes from a natural recognition of who I am. Because when I shift, the world shifts. When my inner state changes, their behavior follows. That is the law. I imagine the way their thoughts gravitate toward me. I imagine them checking their phone, hoping for a message from me. I imagine them prioritizing me emotionally, mentally, energetically. And this imagining is not fantasy. It is creation. I'm creating the reality that matches the state I dominate inwardly. Neville teaches that imaginal acts done in feeling are facts. So this is not pretending. This is me establishing a new truth, a new identity, a new relationship dynamic built from the inside out. There is something deeply powerful about settling into the state of I am the priority. It dissolves insecurity. It dissolves lack. It dissolves doubt. It replaces all of that with the richness of inner knowing. In this state, I don't wonder if they care. I know they do. I don't wonder if they think of me. I know I am the thought that returns again and again, the thought that doesn't fade, the thought that becomes more and more significant. As I embody this, the world around me rearranges to reflect it. That is the law of assumption at work. Subtle, potent, inevitable. It feels good to imagine my SP making decisions with me in mind. I imagine them thinking, I should tell them this. I should include them. I should check in with them. I want to hear their voice. I want to spend time with them. I want them close. I imagine being the person whose presence they seek naturally. And I breathe that feeling in because the imaginal scene is not separate from reality. It is reality, in its forming stage. Consciousness creates the outer world, and my consciousness is saturated with the assumption that I am their priority. I can sense the shift inside me as I claim this. I am the one they choose. I am the one they value. I am the one who stands above the rest without needing to compete. My uniqueness makes me irreplaceable to them. My energy, my presence, my essence. They feel it deeply. They feel it consistently. They feel it growing stronger. And because I accept this, because I assume this, it becomes law. Neville's words echo again. You are already that which you want to be. and I feel the truth of that settling into me. In this new state, I see my SP differently. Not as someone distant or uncertain, but as someone who is naturally pulled toward me, someone whose behavior is shaped by my assumptions, someone who feels the inner shift in me even if they can't explain it with words. They don't need to understand it consciously because the subconscious mind communicates without language, without effort, without resistance. As I change my concept of myself in relation to them, they change their concept of me automatically. That is the beautiful symmetry of this law. I let myself feel the comfort of being the first person they think of in the morning and the last person they think of at night. I imagine them feeling a sense of joy when they see my name appear. I imagine them rearranging things just to make time for me. I imagine them prioritizing me emotionally, not out of guilt or obligation, but out of genuine desire. This is the version of reality I choose because I understand the law. The world mirrors me. And when I assume I am their priority, the world has no choice but to reflect that assumption. There's a softness that comes with this state, a sense of calm certainty. I don't have to force anything. I don't have to overthink. I don't have to wait anxiously. I simply hold the feeling as though it is already done, because it is done. In imagination, it is complete. And what is complete in imagination must show itself in the physical world. The imaginal act is the seed, and the physical world is the harvest. I have planted the seed of being their priority, and now I allow it to grow. I imagine the version of me who feels secure, grounded, desired. I embody that now. I become that now. I step into the role of the chosen one with confidence and ease. In this new identity, I no longer question my worth. I no longer wonder if I'm good enough. I no longer place anyone above me. I know my value. I feel my significance. I recognize my power. And when I recognize these things, my SP recognizes them too, because the world is my mirror. I imagine conversations where my SP expresses how much I mean to them. I imagine them telling me I matter, that they care more than they expected, that they feel a connection they can't ignore. I imagine the softness in their voice, the sincerity in their words, and it feels natural. It feels expected. It feels like the reflection of a truth I've already accepted within myself. I let myself fully embody the energy of being cherished. I imagine myself as someone who effortlessly receives acts of love, attention, and care. I imagine being the one they want to share news with, the one they want to laugh with, the one they want to confide in. I imagine myself being the safe space for them, the warmth they seek, the presence that calms their mind. That is the identity I choose, and the world responds to my choice. I settle into the truth that I am irreplaceable, I am unforgettable, I am significant. My SP feels this even when we are not speaking. They feel this when they wake up. They feel this during the day. They feel this before they fall asleep. I am the one who rises to the surface of their mind again and again. And the more I claim this truth, the more it solidifies. Neville says, dare to assume and persist in the assumption. So I dare. I dare to choose myself. I dare to feel worthy. I dare to live in the end where I am deeply valued. And I persist, not through struggle, but through gentle consistency. Every breath I take is a reaffirmation of this truth. I am their priority. And because I am their priority, they treat me like one. They show up, they communicate, they express affection, they make time, they choose me again and again, not because I push, but because I assume, not because I chase, but because I embody, not because I fear, but because I know. I let this knowing settle into every part of me. I am the one they want. I am the one they choose. I am the one they prioritize. And that reality is already unfolding around me now.